thought I'd find you here. That damned tree sent me. He has roots and branches all through the forest, but I was so hoping you'd be enough of a distraction for me to pass unnoticed. He said we should walk this path together. Thought I could help you, or maybe that you could help me. For a long time they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court, led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. We've known for a long time that prismia crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen. Neralem is the oldest living mortal. He remembers the time before even the Fae called these lands home. You should see how they cherish him. He rarely grants an audience to visitors. His tenders say he knows the future as well as the past. It makes him very particular about what he says. The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance. That codex isn't just a complicated law stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Titarian himself, no less. Interesting. The Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentarth, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Ditir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Gnome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy for them. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. The Fae do not have a written language, so their tales are their lifeblood, their history, and their future all in one. The House of Ballads is where they enshrine these legends and celebrate them time and again. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have, and now we're all facing the price. You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. I've never met Nash. Trolls and Darkwolfar rarely invite each other to tea. But if she's matriarch of a clan, you can be sure that she's strong. And if she's so corrupted that Neralem is nervous about her, then she must pose a bigger threat than most trolls. Let's not keep Nash waiting. Trolls aren't normally this well organized. Even the biggest clans never built dens this deep. What are the Tuatha doing here? There's a time to talk and a time to fight. We need to keep moving. Be on your way. If these trolls ever went on a rampage, they could destroy half of Dalentar. Looks like the Tuatha have been working here for a long time. If they've come this far inland, we're all in great... Prismere. What had the Tuatha done to her? Nice work. I see you haven't forgotten how to handle yourself in a fight. Still, this is bad. I didn't think the Tuatha would reach this far. At least not so soon. Obviously, the Tuatha have bigger plans than just killing you. Infusing the trolls with Prismere. Trying to bring the war to Dalentar? Niralim was right to be concerned. To the contrary, until you came along, she was destined to rampage across Dalentar, at least, if you believe Niralim. Go, talk to the tree. I'm sure he'll let you into Issa now. I'll finish off any Tuatha hiding in this den. You can tell the old mossy log yourself. I'll be tracking down any other Tuatha that may have come this far west. I'll find you again when the time is right.
You return, and in your wake, Dalentarth blossoms. The flow is rearranged, now and forever. Nash's brood is at an end. You have destroyed what was written, and made a new fate for Dalentarth. Even your darkest ally walks a lighter path. And yet the Tuatha still spread, marching with Prismeer and pain. You have only delayed our doom. I have already given you much. Now you must learn what you have received. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young races. If there is a future to be had. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa, and perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Nash and her brood would have spread across Dalentarth and brought the taint of Prismeer with them. So it forever was to be, until you set about to stop it. May your path be long. You return, Nash, and yet the Tuatha still You have the power of an immortal, and yet the humility to ask for help. Little one, I envy your grace. You shall carry my blessings with you. You must know this, Quickling. The age is changing. Immortals are passing, and the future belongs to the young races. If there is a future to be had. Go, and stand at the heart of the She. There you will find Issa, and perhaps you will find wisdom as well. Nash and her brood would have spread across Dalentarth and brought the taint of Prismeer with them. So it forever was to be, until you set about to stop it. Only the path of your own choosing. Stand at the heart of the She, and if that path includes the gardens of Issa, I shall allow it. May your path be long and evergreen.
Welcome to the Gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Court, and the warm heart of the Feylands. It is a rare occasion for us to welcome a child of dust into Issa, but it is equally rare that Niralim chooses a champion. Pleased to meet you. I am Chancellor to the High King. I pray you enjoy our hospitality. The ranks of the Fae were not always sullied by the presence of anything so coarse as the Tuatha. Once, the summer and winter courts existed in harmony. But Gadflo perverted the winter court with talk of his new god, and from that poison, the Tuatha arose. The sapling of the World Tree bears centuries of great wisdom. Of course, long-lived as Nirlam is, it is still regrettably mortal. Even all greatest mortal wisdom cannot compare to the perspective given by true agelessness. Begging your pardon, of course. We are the Summer Court, the very embodiments of courage, honor, and all things bright and proud. Some envious few in the Winter Court would call us arrogant and self-righteous, as well as all manner of other epithets. But remember, we are the ones who stayed true to tradition, while they turned to barbarism. The Tuatha find new recruits from our ranks. Truly a place of wonder, as it has always been and always shall be. Here springs the life well of Dalentarth, and the greater Phalanx in all directions. It is a pity that some of our kind have fallen to such degenerative states, but we cannot shed a tear for their weakness. Too many mortals misunderstand the Winter Court. Our cold cousins are not evil, but merely evoke the darker truths of nature, from subtlety to decay. Perhaps it makes sense that children of dust are put off by those who embody their inevitable death, but it is regrettable that so many are misunderstood. High King Titarian is Lord of the Summerfae, the font of all our wisdom, and first amongst the immortals. And since Gadflo tragically murdered the High King of the Winter Court, Titarian is the greatest and last true leader left of our kind.
Hello. Welcome. Greetings. What have I done now? Someone in Issa is always looking to send me away. But I won't go. No.
Damn quiet, damn fools. I'm sorry, friend, I didn't see you there. I'm afraid I'm a bit concerned. The finest practitioners of the arcane crafts on the continent can be found within the Order. There are many things we have learned from our time with the Fae, though their magic is quite unlike ours. I'm an experienced sagecrafter. My skills as a mage leave much to be desired, but no one knows stones like I do. A few nights ago, I was the victim of an attempted robbery. Someone sought to steal a gem of mine from a chest I warded myself. That night, 3 initiates fled the chapter. Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. I suspect they were somehow involved. They could only have run into the She. Can you find them? Someone attempted to steal a valuable gem from me, and on the very same evening, 3 of our initiates disappeared. Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. They're somehow involved in the attempted theft, and at the very least, in danger while on this She. Thank you. Find out what happened, and I'll be grateful. You've got to find them. They're somewhere in the She, I'm sure of it. There's 3 of them. Cassera, Bertrand, and Alorin. They must be in the She. Find them there. Goodbye!
Welcome to the Issa chapter house of the Scholia Arcana. How may I be of assistance? We are a collective of mages, and those that have a mind to unravel the ethereal phenomena of these Feylands and beyond. The Issa chapter is but a small branch of our larger Rathir chapter in the plains of Erethel. We focus more on researching the magics of the Fey and Dalentarth than pure instruction. Despite Jorum's frustrations, the wild magic of the Fey can be channeled in the most extraordinary ways. It is a great honor for us to be granted a place among them. As a docent of the Scholia Arcana, my duties involve handling all tasks necessary for the day-to-day administration of the Order's affairs in Issa. We are an order of magic practitioners dedicated to the fostering of knowledge regarding all things mystical and arcane. While the heart of our power lies in Rathir, we keep an embassy here in Issa to maintain strong relations with the Fae. Traditionally, our applicants undergo years of preparation, but we understand your circumstances are somewhat irregular. Ever since you entered the city, we've been watching you. After all, an endorsement from Niralim is not quickly dismissed. If it is your wish to join our order, you must first complete the trial of initiation. It is a ritual that will better equip us to understand what place you might have among us. I will not lie. Some do not survive the ordeal. Of those who do, only a select few are chosen to become members of our order. Then first I shall present you with this. It is the story of the Order's founding and a good primer for all who wish to join our ranks. Now I shall summon the circle of mages necessary to perform the ritual. Savant Engar will lead the trial. Speak to him in the Delving Hall when you're ready to begin. We are a society of mages dedicated to the study of magic. Short of joining, the best way to learn about the Order is to read On the Founding of the Scholia Arcana. It is not for me to divulge the details of the trial. I can only advise that you do not take the risk lightly. Farewell.
Greetings. I have some ability with the art of sage crafting. Do you wish for some instruction? Never stop practicing.
Greetings. I will be the savant presiding over your trial of initiation. Traditionally, applicants have prepared for the challenges of this trial through years of study and training. But as Augur mentioned, we realize you are unique. Do you have any questions before we begin? The magic of the ritual confronts the applicant with his or her own potential. Consequently, no two experiences are the same. How this potential manifests varies. Whatever takes place is for the applicant only. Tradition dictates it is never spoken of. And a final warning. While whatever shape the magic takes isn't real, not truly, what happens can have real consequences. Do not underestimate the danger. This is a fluid magic. The form it takes varies according to the power and nature of the ritual's focus. In this case, you. The goal is a simple one: survive. Like every Scholia Arcana member before you, to join our ranks, you must first confront the specter of your potential. And be aware that I am watching. Now, proceed into the center of the circle to begin. Good luck. Not the most welcoming place, is it? Is that a pile of corpses? Fascinating. Don't pay any attention to my ramblings, Initiate. Those fair Gorta look like they're out for blood. Seem to possess quite the capacity for violence. Intriguing. By the Founders, what is that? A synergistic construct of all chemical elements resonant within a sage-crafted crystalline substructure. I do hope you survive the trial. We must discuss this further. first phase of the trial is complete. Proceed further in... Another cave. How interesting. Something is terribly wrong. Ahead, I sense another's presence in the trial. Dissonance, growing, cannot...
Where am I? What is this place? The Dark Empyrean. I cannot remember. I cannot remember anything. And you? I smell death on you, child. Why have you summoned me here? I am the Dark Empyrean, and I will not be bound by you or those you serve. I could kill you now, but I have plans for those who watch from the shadows. Now be gone.
Such power! One moment we were linked, sustaining the magic of the trial, and then an arc of energy, the likes of which I have never seen, burst from you. 3 mages lay dead, and 2 have fled screaming. I know the trial is not meant to be shared, but what in Lyria's name happened? A difficult question. The purpose of the spell is to confront the focus, in this case you, with a force representative of his or her potential. How it goes about this is, well, uncertain. The magic finds a way. So I must ask, what happened in your trial? What did you encounter? A woman? Masked in shadow? I will need to consult my books. Perhaps later we can discuss the details. For now, we have dead to bury and missing mages to find. As for the formalities, you have proven yourself worthy in the trial of initiation. In the name of the Scholia Arcana, I hereby confer unto you the title of Neophyte. Welcome to the Order. Come speak to me when you're ready to be of use. Ah, yes. Newly welcomed applicants are known as neophytes. In time, those who have progressed to handling certain amounts of responsibility may become docents. Particularly gifted members may one day reach the rank of adept. They are traditionally the agents of the Scholia Arcana, to whom great tasks may be entrusted. A very few may reach the rank of savant. These are the leaders of the Order, and they yield only to one, the Art Sage. Oh, right. You passed. Up until the point where all hell broke loose, you were even doing well. Not that we expected anything less. It is a wondrous world we have been graced with, and among its marvels is the force of magic that builds in strength every day. We have a responsibility to know what these forces are, so that we may better control it. I am sending you to the ruin of Aod, to the south. There, the element of fire thrives as though it has a life of its own. After your initiation trial, the magic in Aod shifted. I believe this magic is tied to you, Initiate. Confronting it might yield some answers. It does not surprise me that Nuala survived the backlash of power that killed 3 of her brethren. From the first day of her novitiate, she demonstrated an insatiable curiosity and remarkable talent. But now, I can't help but wonder if we pushed her too hard. He is, one of the most gifted sage-crafters we have produced in generations. Wherever he may be, I hope he is safe and will soon return to the fold. Priests of Raykor have long sealed Aod from entry, but we know it to be an ancient ruin. If you're interested in the details, read Velthilian Carr's Aod, the Mythos of Mayhem. I'm sure our library has a copy. Somewhat self-destructive cultists who worship the arcane aspects of fire. They frequent places they believe blessed by Raykor, and do not welcome trespassers. Followers of Raykor dwell within. They have quite the affinity for fire, as do other creatures found there. As for what may be causing the recent swelling in power emanating from the ruin, your guess is as good as mine. Lyria be with you.
The court of summer will see.
It is a glorious day. It is a glorious day.
Mortals welcome.
The mockingbird. Welcome to the Lyceum Grove. I am Jackson. It is strange to see a mortal so far from Felltown. If you ever wish to learn, come visit.
Can I aid you?
Hello?
Oh, excellent. Another... Oh, a mortal. I don't think I could... Well, perhaps I might. Yes, of course. Why not? You, Dustling. How would you like to make some of your shiny, bright metal? What's it called? Ah, yes, gold. How would you like some of that? I am steward of the High King's List, and apprentice to the Lady of Receivership. Olana will be so displeased once she finds out I failed her so. She is well suited to her role as the Lady of Receivership, as she enjoys judging the worth of others. She has assessed me as well, and I have been found lacking. I enjoy my role as steward, but my fear of Lady Olana overshadows any pleasure I might find in the tasks assigned to me. She is quite critical. Well, I've never met him, of course. Such an honor is not granted to squires. But they say he is quite incredible. As tall as a tree and radiating a great light, as though a sun burned within him. The birds sing to herald his glory. Few dustlings ever make their way to these gardens. I believe they fear us, as they fear the elements. As they should. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not like to be called dustlings? My role is with the Hall of Appointments, to prepare visiting ambassadors and dignitaries to meet with the Court of Summer. Right now, there are 4 terrible, regal lords and ladies that wish to see High King Tatarian, but they are a fickle lot and require extra, handling. They must enter the font in a procession, but each has his or her own preferences, and I can't afford to offend any of them. Wonderful. That's one less aggravation that demands my concern. Thank you, mortal. The dignitaries have been seen about the gardens, enjoying its many splendors. I will remain here and await your advice. Everywhere. Goronet is in the Hall of Appointments, but the others are all over the city. What a nightmare. Farewell.
Hello?
Ah, Dustling. It's you.
Mortals in Isa. Have a nice day.
Orlane will not tell you of this. She disapproves of pride. She does embody nature's tooth, a sharp and silent, simple truth. And yet Orlane will always shine among the ballad's lore. For humble though her carriage be, a greater knight we'll never see.
I hope you're here about the job. Demand is higher than ever. I'm just too busy to deal with anything else. You think I like being confined to this cage? Think again. And after all we've done for them in this war, ungrateful creatures. It's safe, that's for sure. At least for the time being. I don't quite understand the Fae, but they definitely know how to keep a city quiet. What do I know of Fae politics? I didn't even know they had a city until Gwen and I were allowed in. All I know is that there's opportunity here, thanks to the war. I can sum up the war in one word. Folly. It is folly. You will see. Everyone will see. She's the general merchant in the United Merchants delegation down the road. We've been friends for years now, I believe. A good, honest one, that Gwenna. Not just anyone can enter the secret city of the Fae. Oh no. You need an ambassador's endorsement and written authorization, and that's just to be in the lottery. Those in the United Merchants are the lucky ones. Of course, once you see how much gold they actually make in Issa, you will no longer envy them. Sure. You want to know about me? It's understandable. You want to know who you're going into business with. A wise move. Very wise. My mother was a merchant in Rathir, and I learned the trade at her side. I took the apprenticeship with Gwenna Hand mostly to get me into Issa. Now I'm on my own. Making a fortune is what? These visitors come with obscene amounts of gold or treasure. They don't mind parting with it. My plan was brilliant. I created a blade, Fey blade, of course, that makes them authentic, something all of them had to have. That's all they care about anyway. Fey souvenirs. I called it the Honor brand. Truth be told, it's dull as a stick, but it's easy to make. Listen, if you can find the parts and make them, I'll pay good money. Fabulous! Fabulous! You know a good deal when you see it. There aren't enough people like you in Issa. The Fae don't even use money. Can you imagine? Once you start forging the Honor brands, bring them to me and I'll provide you with just compensation. There should be plenty of parts around the city. For creatures with no interest in possessions, they sure know how to collect a fair amount of junk. It's you and me, friend. Doesn't look like you've had any luck. Goodbye.
Then we must do what needs to be done.
Perhaps we must finally swallow our dignity and draw our swords. Quiet. We must not discuss this further in the open. You must be the special messenger Tatarian's expecting. Trust me, the rest of us have heard plenty about it. Erwin can't keep his big mouth shut. I am Methani Keen, Dokalfar ambassador to the Summer Court Fae. I'm sorry. This is a difficult position sometimes. This is where the Fae hide us to keep us out of sight. I used to take offense, but I got over it. I wouldn't want to live near them. Strange things, the Fae. Issa is fine, and the Fae are tolerable, but many believe they should do more to support the war effort. It's unjust to live in peace while the rest of the world burns. They are a council of Fae nobles that advise the High King in matters of politics. Not that they even understand what that means. To them, politics is just a game. Well, more of a game than usual. You understand my meaning. I've met with him several times. I'll admit, he radiates a certain presence, but I'm less interested in charisma than I am in leadership. Something is about to happen, and it must be stopped. But that is all I can say. This is neither the time nor the place. If you're interested in hearing my story, meet me in the worship circle after dark, near the gates. I will wait for you there. This is not the place. I will meet you in the time and place I specified. Goodbye.
Varani only. Aren't you bold? This is the Varani wing of the embassy, and few venture here without being summoned. I'm Ambassador Advar, he who bloodies the waters. Lead me to my business. This had better be worthy of my time. The Varani and Issa have many concerns that require our attention. I have lived in less hospitable places. The Fae may not understand what it means to be mortal, but they certainly have an eye for beauty. I have served my people for 40 years, in war and in peace. Now I serve here, in the gardens. It is here where the important battles are fought. The Battle of Wills. I enjoy being this close to those I'm competing against. That's what this is, isn't it? A conflict in which we struggle to gain the ear of the Fae. As always, the Varani will triumph. The High King knows why we are here, yet he does nothing. Our people die at the hands of the Tuatha, Fae. But the Fae themselves show no remorse. Titarian and the Summer Court will know our anger, and they will aid us or perish. The Varani allow the purchase of several titles for use in the Gardens of Issa, but they are rare and should be worn with great respect. A title worthy of one who's claimed many victories. Let us hope you are worthy. I proclaim you Blood Doge. Probably a good idea. You don't want to attract too much attention to yourself. For the most part, they're the political equivalent of trinkets. Playthings that are bought and sold for status. Fae heralds will announce your presence, but that is all. The Varani allow the purchase of several titles for use in the Gardens of Issa, but they are rare and should be worn with great respect. A title worthy of one who's claimed many victories. Let us hope you are worthy. Lead me to my business.
Welcome.
Presenting Her High Ladyship, the Blood Doge.
You've been watching me long enough. What is it? Did I wrong you in another life, sister? Farewell.
I've got what you need here. If you're looking to buy armor, I'm the only one in Felltown who's authorized. I don't have many weapons to offer, and I... Count of the peace edict, but there's still a selection to pick through. Have at it. Nice talking.
Weapons? Get over here. We don't abide by... Strangers in Issa, and the city... Farewell.
Presenting Her High Ladyship, the Blood Doge. If you're looking to drown your worries at the bottom of a bottle, this is the place for you. I'm Goethe and Asker, and this is my establishment. But if you're looking for the Victor's Brew, we don't sell that in Asker's Alley, and you'll have to take your business elsewhere. The ambassadors requested that facilities be created where flesh and blood folks could put their feet up. Not that the Fae know what that means. So the All-Main approached my family about starting a tavern. The alley does well, but I'm no businessman. Oh, yes, sorry. The United Merchants Delegation. It's a coalition of traders that have been granted permission to sell their wares in Issa. I know better than to criticize the Fae. They call us children of dust. We treat them like people, but they're like no people I've ever met. This city has been here for thousands of years. Longer than that, even. It will be here long after we're gone. I wouldn't say I ran from the war. I just don't need to know every little thing that's going on. There are other ways to help. Getting folks drunk is one of them. There's a brewery near Rathia that makes it. Very small, very secretive. But they've found their niche, that's for certain. Cheap and powerful. It's not a drink for the man who appreciates craftsmanship, tradition. It just helps the soldiers forget all they've been through. It's the most popular drink in Amalur, at least it is now. My Asker's Ale used to be the preferred beverage, but every day brings more cancelled orders. My brother and I are working on a new drink, but it requires something special. Wait a minute. Maybe you could help. If you do, I could see to it that the merchants in Issa treat you well. So here's what we're thinking. Bring back our grandmother's favorite Asker's Draft, a classic. The recipe calls for bristletongue seeds, and if you're talking rare ingredients, bristletongue tops the list. It's worthless for potions, but tastes fabulous. The problem is that the Fae control the use of bristletongue, as it's a product of the Font's waters. Talk to Jackson, their apothecary. He can probably get it for us. It's been in our family for 4 generations, since the days of Almir the Bold. Our grandmother entrusted us with the formula, and we made a fortune from it. But I'm afraid we've been replaced by a new drink. Almir the Bald was the first king of the Almain. He brought us out of lawlessness and misery. We've always wanted to name a drink after him. He spends his time in the Lyceum Grove in the understyle section of town. He's an odd duck, always crafting new tonics. Some advice? Don't drink any. See you soon.
Hello there, pretty. Come, talk a spell. Good to see more pointy ears in this shack. Hey there, pretty. If you're new in the city, I can... help. I know everything about the understyle. Bye now.
Well, another alpha. We need more of them around here.
What could you possibly want from me? I am Warlord Wenery, Lady of the Red Sands. I am not to be disturbed. I am not petty, but I have limits, as do we all. I know I should lead the formation because of my position, but other, more tender individuals will insist otherwise. Whatever you do, do not make me walk behind the High Fae Mage Goronet. How shall I put this? He has an odor. If you value this position, you will make sure Lord Setter is not behind Huntress Hartwin. She finds him despicable, as do I. My only request is that Lord Goronet follow far behind me. He and his stink belong together. Of course. But see that it doesn't happen again.
Presenting Her High Ladyship, the Blood.
Are you here to purchase a title or just to waste my waking hours? Leave me to my business.
Doesn't look like you've had any luck. Forge me and don't keep me waiting too long.
Presenting Her High Ladyship, the Blood.
Get to know your blade here. Idle hands can lead one into trouble. The best way to keep busy is to learn a useful trade. I'll be here.
in Issa. It's nice to know you're sticking around for a while. Issa residents tend to make themselves at home. Anything catch your eye? Nice talking.
The Fae like us to stay out of the understyle. That's their district. Our kind linger in the shadows of Feldtown. Let me make you feel at home. Take a look.
Farewell. Greetings.
We're friendly enough in Feldtown, but we still like to keep us...
Good. You've come. I'm sorry to make you wait like this, but what I mean to discuss is very sensitive. It involves treachery. Despite the calm you see around you, the gardens of Issa are on the brink of war, and the question is, which one will it be? There are plans being made to seize this city. The Varani are displeased with the Court of Summer's lack of support for their people, and they wish to overthrow Tartarian and force the remaining Fae to fight. We can prevent this, but we must act now. If saving your people isn't enough, we can pay you as a reward. The Varani cannot stomach Tartarian's neutrality. They believe that his Fae subjects could be convinced to march with us on the battlefield. I believe this as well, but I would never resort to violence. The Varani wish to turn Issa into a military camp. We cannot let that happen. It will ruin all our people have achieved here. Of course, it is the right thing to do. The leader of the plot is the Varani ambassador, Kirna Brenner. Every night, the ambassador strolls Memory Walk, alone. She carries a pair of daggers. Take them. Afterwards, dispose of them. Destroy them. Salvage them. I don't care. Return to me when it is done. She is no politician. She is a warlord, and a cruel one. I've heard stories that would make your heart brittle. She was sent here for one reason alone, to bring down Issa. The Varani communicate secretly using weapons. They engrave codes into the blades of daggers and swords, and that way, they can get them through a typical search. We believe this particular pair of daggers describes the defenses of Issa, where it's strong and where it's weak. The Varani are plotting, and they will act. She spends most of her time in the embassy, but in the evenings, she enjoys a leisurely stroll through Memory Walk. Try there after dark. Goodbye.
Tell me of the authorities' gift. It is a glorious day. Oh, you took me by surprise. I'm not accustomed to mortals on the trellis. Please, enter. I am Lord Saramar, the High Lore Sage of Issa. I am here to answer all questions regarding the House of Ballads and the House of Valor. May good fortune follow.
You feel it, don't you? The font's waning flow. You are intimate with the ways of magic. You're like me, youngling. You see the end. Every season, one is chosen to attend the font's magical flow, to act as ambassador. I'm the only Fae to have held the position more than once. I feel the strength of the currents. They wash through me. They rise up and overflow. However, their power weakens. Their cool waters recede. It has been located here for many of your generations, what we call seasons. Only in recent times has it been shaped to resemble one of your mortal cities. The summer court resides on the highest terrace, far above the rest of us, as it should be. As it is in every season, this family of Summer Fae has communed at the feet of its greatest leader, the High King Tatarian. The Western Fae lands are our domain. It is the source of Summer Court magic and touches our realm of origin, the land of Ashara. Without its constant flow, our kind would dry up like leaves and vanish. While wise and powerful, he's also brash and narrow. A sliver of light in a world so dark that most of us are blind. His inaction is no match for mortal ambition. Of the Gardens of Issa? Of the Summer Court? Why, this crystal war may be the end of all Fae. I know because I am Nomeron, master of the font, the wellspring of all Summer Court magic. I've seen it flow at its highest, but I've never seen it so dry. Something must be done before all this city withers into nothingness. The font is the source of all Summer Court magic. It has flowed through this mountainside since our kind sprang up from the dirt. That flow has waned in recent days. It's unnatural, even as the magic in the world grows. The Fae, it seems, will wither. The font's flow is controlled from the Lyceum Grove down below. We must open the root system and allow more water through. However, the magic that regulates this flow can only be used by some. It's protected by a ward known as the Waterlock. It can only be opened by one who carries drops from each of the 5 sacred pools surrounding Issa. Collect these drops, and you can break the Waterlock. Collect water from each of the 5 sacred pools, and then go to the Lyceum Grove. This is where the roots can be opened to regulate the font's flow. Goodbye.
A mortal here?
I am the great huntress Hartwin, and you are not allowed on the trellis. What brings you here, beautiful? How quaint. Well, I am the most respected and most deserved to lead. Besides, I detest that harlot, Warlord Winry. So it is only right I meet the High King before her. Not only must I be in front of Warlord Winry, but I must also lead Lord Setter, the old lecher. Serves him right for all his past leering. Make sure I am ahead of my rival, Lady Winry. That will make me happy. The pleasure was all mine, child of the dust. Goodbye.
Are you finished?
Welcome. Mortals are meant for.
Why, hello. I am Viscount Setter, the All-Seer. Are you from the Hall of Appointments? Order? I care nothing for order. It is the others who insist on such foolishness and frippery. However, if you are the one who determines such things, may I ask that you place me behind the Warlord Winry? I enjoy watching her backside travel. It would be best if Garnet trails far behind Great Huntress Hartwin. Once at each other's throats, those two are difficult to tear apart. Remember? Behind Lady Winry. Always a pleasure. I am at your service, fleshy master.
Enidon grant you justice.
It is a glorious day. Presenting Her High Ladyship, the Blood Dawn.
Another steward? When did the Gardens of Issa become such a teeming pot of nonsense? What is it? Me? Well, my seniority dictates that I should be leading this procession, but my lame leg prevents me from taking my rightful place. I should bring up the rear. I will make it to Tartarean's throne, even if I have to crawl. I spent many seasons wandering the wood of the She, acquiring the knowledge necessary to better serve the summer court. But does Tartarean care? Never. Such groveling is beneath me. Such spectacles of royalty and procedure. I may be able to wait an eternity for an audience, but the untended garden grows wild. He's the most beautiful of us, a being of absolute perfection. It is a shame he must grace the mortal realm in a physical form. His true brilliance is beyond you. They make up the most powerful body in the world, especially now that the mortal races have become embroiled in conflict. A second spring is coming, mark my words. I remember a cycle, a great many seasons, when your kind did not trample the gardens of Issa. This city was the ideal in those times. It is forever tainted now.
So, you're done. A right group of snakes, eh? So, any insight into how I should present them so as not to tug their writhing tails? It's good that someone does. Go on. Let's line up these backstabbing serpents. Of course. And then? All right. Next. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Sorry, friend. It looks like you failed. I don't think they'd be too pleased with that order. Farewell.
Please obey the edict.
Presenting Her High Ladyship, the Blood Dog. It is a glorious day.
Please obey the edict.
So, you're done. A right group of snakes, eh? So, any insight into how I should present them so as not to tug their writhing tails?
Farewell.
Have you seen four faint? Nobles? I can't find them anywhere.
I'm waiting. It's good that someone does. Go on. Let's line up these backstabbing serpents. Yes, yes. Of course. And then? All right. Next. Yes, yes. Excellent. That's a perfect order for these fools. Saves me the trouble of talking to them. Thank you. Goodbye.
everywhere. Have you seen 4 Fey nobles? I can't find them anywhere.